We had our monthly Tuesdays with Kevin meeting yesterday on Tuesday. Makes sense. It's a once a month meeting for those of you who are not familiar with it, where we invite all of the IBR agents together to meet at whatever location and talk about pretty much whatever topic comes up that day. And yesterday was a great meeting. It's the second time we've had it. We had 20 some odd agents come by, and the conversations were very, very good. The sharing of information was really memorable, and a good experience, I hope, was had by all. And as I said, the topics are pretty open on Tuesdays with Kevin. We started talking about short sales, but one of the topics that I wanted to bring up and discuss was how to fill up your pipeline, how to build your business, especially in market conditions like we're experiencing. And one of the things that I noticed is that it really doesn't make any difference if it's a good market or a bad market. There's very many similarities, no matter what. And one of the things, I took notes on this. There was a wide-ranging conversation. It went all over the place. It was pretty fun. But there's 4 things that I kind of came up with that seemed consistent with all the different stories. And one of the first ones was just plain working hard. And we've talked about this before too, is putting the time in. I mean, work will just not come to you. You're not going to be busy by sitting around. You need to work on your business, not just in your business. And Annabelle Fellman had just some great stories about what they're doing. She and Norma, they're partners, and they're building their business really well right now. And a lot of it is involving with just putting in the time. But one of the things they're doing is they've gone to banks, local banks like Richfield Bank or M&I, and met with them and try to convince them to list all of their houses, all their bank-owned houses, with IBR Realty, and talking about their expertise and things that IBR can do for them, and spending a lot of hours trying to create new business and not just having it fall into their laps. And I think it's going to work. They got the dedication and some really bright ideas, but no doubt about it, they know how to put some good time in the saddle. And it was really neat hearing about their experiences. So if you have a chance, talk to Annabelle or Norma Hollinser, and you'll learn a few things. The second thing that I picked up from our conversations was that, again, real estate is a relationship building industry, and that it's person to person. And going back again to Annabelle, working with the banks, many times she's talking with the teller first and getting to build that relationship, and then finding out who's that next person to talk to about the bank-owned properties, and getting that name and kind of opening up the door. And Melissa Garrity was talking about building relationships by offering commission structures that were really favorable to people in short sales, and then talking to other people about the successes. And one thing leads to another, but it's building relationships to build your business. We also discussed that you have to be an expert. It's not just enough to drive people around. You need to know what you're talking about. And I was so impressed with the level of expertise, especially on the short sales and foreclosures in this group of 20 agents. It was really impressive. But one of the things that came up, Kay Glossop was talking about working with the daughter of one of her friends, and first-time home buyer, and showing her houses and making bids, trying to get into competition with some of these houses, and not being able to close in the deals yet because of the nature of very low-priced foreclosure houses. They are actually in this competitive situation, and she was concerned that the relationship was suffering with her friend because of this, her inability to close a deal, which then led to the conversation about how do you educate your clients when you first meet them, especially with a first-time buyer. We talked about the necessity of sitting this person down and talking about the process. We're the experts. We know what to expect, and this poor buyer doesn't know what to expect. That education and preparing them for disappointment. Being able to relate real-world possibilities to your clients so that their expectations are met, and they know that when things don't go well, that's just the nature of the beast. So it's being the expert and educating your clients. And lastly, we talked about what kind of experience do your clients have with you. My favorite French Canadian, Brett, was talking about a tea shop south of the river out where he lives that seems to be busy all the time. And he talked about his experience and going in and how they prepared it. And I mean, it was pretty elaborate and very customer friendly for a $2.05 cup of tea. And so that leads to the discussion is, what kind of experience do you give your clients? If someone was to ask them after working with you, what was it like? Would they go on for 3 or 4 minutes talking about how great it was, how good you were, how you educated them, how successful they were in their bids or selling their house? I mean, is it a memorable experience? And I really think that this group of people hit it the nail on the head. And these are the things that came out loud and clear, that if you work hard, build a relationship, become the expert, and be able to educate your clients on your level of expertise, and provide an experience that is just extraordinary, that your pipeline is always going to be full. And that's the name of the game.